loves, and welcome back to BehatiLife YouTube channel. If you're meeting for the first time, welcome. And for those of you that are old friends and family, welcome back. As you guys can see, we're going to be diving into the week ahead, facing the window, because it is a beautiful day here in sunny Florida. Seriously, the breeze is absolutely amazing. I have the chart pulled up in front of me. I have my baby strapped to my chest. So we are going to dive in slowly but surely. Hopefully we shouldn't have too many interruptions. I am filming this Sunday, which you guys can see it's December 15th, 2024, 2:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have the chart pulled up here. So let's see, December 16th, 2024. Yeah. All right, so first things first, I'm going to be talking astrology, the astrology chart, and I'm also going to be shuffling the cards. I have some oracle and tarot cards on my side. I'm really gravitating towards Wisdom of the Avalon, this deck, and I'm also gravitating towards this tarot deck. I forget the name, but I'll list it down below. And I've also am gravitating towards this tarot deck, which I forgot that one as well. But we will, I'll link them all down below, okay? So I promise you will have access to those. Let's go ahead and dive in. So first things first, guys, we need to talk about Mercury. Mercury was here transiting, or is transiting through Sagittarius. It was retrograde. Now, this has created quite some doozies, and as we step into this week, December 16th until the 22nd, we still need to respect the fact that Mercury is bringing a lot of confusion and handicaps communication, our understanding significantly. Not only that, but it's important to note that our sun, representing our ego and our collective consciousness, transiting through Sagittarius, needs a lot of space, needs to relax, needs to chill significantly, right? All of us, it's like taking a deep collective breath and then exhaling and trying our hardest to relax and see the bigger picture instead of zeroing in on these tiny details and like why, and understanding why and where is this coming from when we're facing conflict in our life, information, new developments globally in our personal lives, intimate lives, all of it. What does this mean? This means that it's easy. These are transits that can get us easily worked up, that can get us confused, that can get us bewildered. Sometimes people just feel like running away from life, like completely starting over, needing a fresh start, starting a new chapter, just burning it all down and starting over fresh. You guys will have to let me know if you relate to that. Me personally, I don't feel that way, but I have felt the chaos in the moment, and I've needed to take a few extra breaths in order to pace myself. There has definitely been miscommunications and misunderstandings in my personal life, which we knew, we knew that was going to happen anytime we have Mercury retrograde. But not only do we have Mercury retrograde happening, but if we zoom in, Venus and Pluto conjunction in the sign of Aquarius. Remember how I was saying how collectively we all just need to take a step back and loosen our expectations and loosen our feelings, our desire to try to control people or outcomes or experiences. Venus and Pluto is really challenging that, especially with our masculine energy, Mars retrograde in the sign of Leo, which rules our ego and how we feel about ourselves to our core, our self-worth, and how we paint ourselves and how we express ourselves through what we believe about ourselves, that picture that we paint of ourselves, right? So what does this mean? This means that last week, predominantly, especially in our relationship with ourselves, our spending, our values, we were really getting stressed out, feeling the pressure of letting things go when it comes to our own expectations. We would definitely have seen a rise in possessiveness and power and control issues in our relationships, in our lives, our relationship with the world. This means that if you're in a toxic relationship with someone, and especially romantic or a friendship, you would have seen any type of toxic developments here, or maybe not so much how you guys feel towards each other, but expectations that you have of each other in the relationships. This doesn't have to be romantic though, right? It could cross the line into any relationship. It's pretty much what we are attracted to, what we want, how we wish to see things, how we wish to make things happen and how things actually are. When they don't align, this can create a lot of frustration. This can create a lot of agitation, irritation, and control. And this is where people tend to snap because they want freedom. They want to be themselves. They want to be authentic. They don't want to be controlled. They don't want to be manipulated. They don't want to feel like that's what's happening. Even if it's not, the air of that is in the midst. There's a challenge to boundaries here, right? This is not new to this week or last week or the week before that. This is months. With Saturn and Neptune transiting through the sign of Pisces, it's really challenging everything that is crossing our boundaries, right? For some of you guys, this is also teaching you how to grow up, how to mature, because for you, and I hope that you don't take this the wrong way, but for you, you may have escaped into like some type of idealistic vision of like comfort for you. That could mean like you fall into fantasy world when reality is too real. This could mean when the shit hits the fan, where do you go? You know, when life gets too tough, when you're asked to do too much, when the responsibilities are too heavy, what is the metaphorical sand that you want to bury your head in? You know what I mean? Like, how do you go to avoid those? Where do you go to avoid those responsibilities? Where do you go as a relief to kind of let down your hair and escape for a little bit? There's a huge emphasis on escapism that I'm looking at as I'm pulling the charts, and I totally get it. So Saturn transiting through Pisces, Neptune transiting through Pisces, these types of energies, they are challenging again our boundaries, our expectations of others, our expectations of ourselves, and we have to face the things that we don't want to look at. For some of you guys, this means it's time for you're feeling like you're being pushed to grow up. You're being pushed to look at things or realize things that you've been turning your head away from, or you may be seeing that not in yourself, but in others. For someone here, we always want to look out for our psychology, our subconscious when we're dealing with Pisces energy, Saturn here and Neptune. This is really working to peel back the layers even further when it comes to our subconscious fears, desires, and places within ourselves that could use extra healing. This is not a transit. These are not transits that are easily navigatable alone. It's really important that you reach out for psychological, mental, emotional healing. If there's PTSD or trauma of any sort that is popping up, any type of issues, subconscious issues that you've been dealing with that you're not foreign to, they have a way of resurfacing. A big part of this was because Saturn was retrograde, Neptune was retrograde. Now that they're direct, they're now trying to put the pieces of the puzzle, especially of what was pulled out and extracted during those retrograde cycles. They're trying to make sense of things. And that's what's happening within you subconsciously. Also, when it comes to relationships and like romance or like this idealistic vision that you may want to see for your love life, there's a challenge if there are dynamics that you carry within yourself that are unhealthy, that call you in to be attracted to things that aren't for your highest and greatest good. And although it's difficult, within the last week, you were being called to really see, examine, extract the poison of the things that you're attracted to, the things that you chase, and what you allow to chase you, and what you say yes to. So that's a lot. Like, that's really a lot of, that's a lot to uncover in 1 week. I mean, it's not just, you guys know it's not just this week. It's been happening. It's been going on for a while, but it's tough. It's tough to examine ourselves and our lives. This could be emotionally exhausting, to say the least. And this is why, again, it's really, for a lot of people, I understand if you want to escape. I can understand if you want to start over. If you want a fresh start, if you would like to venture out, if you need a vacation, But don't vacation so long that you're missing out on small details, right? Small details that really do need your time, your attention, and your focus. It's probably going to get a little loud here. Every day we have a huge flock, or a murder of crows, as they call it, that comes flying through, and they land in the trees. And it seems like they're coming through right now. I love them. I've been trying to befriend them for like the longest. So one thing else that I want to talk to you guys about, not only is the fact that Mercury is now going direct in Sagittarius on the 15th, but we also have had the full moon in Gemini. Now, the time that I'm filming, the full moon in Gemini is happening relatively right now. Not totally exact. It was actually earlier this morning, but we're going to be feeling these energies the remainder of the week. Usually with full moons, emotions can be heightened. People are more sensitive. People are in tune. Life gets a little unpredictable and wonky. We need to give extra space now to give this full moon the space to express itself. Gemini can easily be overstimulated, or the information that comes through can be kind of overwhelming for people to process what it is that they're hearing and seeing. There's also a connection to otherworldly, which I don't know if you guys are watching the news, but when we have Saturn, Neptune, once retrograde, now direct in the sign of Pisces, when we have the Sun transiting through Sagittarius, when we have the part of fortune and Mercury transiting through Sagittarius, our minds on what is real, or what is everyday experiences, are really being challenged and questioned, especially when it comes to alien life. And I don't know if you guys have been watching the news, but that's been some information that's been dropping like a bomb. Maybe that's not the right word to use right now in today's times, but those drones, and like, what are those drones? Where are they coming from? Why are they spinning around in the Northeast, specifically New Jersey? These types of transits really question our sense of reality. Or if you've already sensed that there are aliens in our planet, like on our planet, which I believe that they are. I was always kind of on the fence about it. Like, I could believe that that aliens were here, and that aliens, of course, were real. But I never fully was 100% until I had a client who I was channeling for her, and she was connected to the Pleiadians. And as I was channeling for her, they were pinging her. I'm going to sound like, hopefully you guys understand what it is I'm saying, and you're not just like, yo, this girl is nutty. But I think we'll see soon enough, especially with current events. But the Pleiadians were pinging her, and when I looked at her face, like when I looked at the picture of her, and then I looked at what the Pleiadians were supposed to look like, they are splitting image of each other. And that's all I needed to hear to know. And I could literally pick up that they were tapping into her from the cosmos, from the universe. It was the wildest. It was the wildest, one of the top wildest moments where I've channeled a message for someone or connected with someone through channeling. Mostly it's messages that they need to hear, angels, guides, ancestors, archangels. Rare has it ever been an alien, and not to that extent, So anyway, speaking of which, the Sun transiting through Sagittarius and needing some time, like a breather and some space to retreat and to regather yourself. Sun is going to be squaring off with Neptune all this week. I really, really, really want you guys to take this energy serious, because if you are sensitive, if you're gifted, if you're in tune, this can make you very, very vulnerable to the energies around you. You may be very heightened to need and crave extra space for yourself, to gather your thoughts, to gather your energy. That's normal. It's understandable. Take all the time that you need. The Sun squaring off with Neptune has an opportunity. Of course, anytime when Neptune impacts our personal planets, meaning like it has a direct connection to the personal planets, whether it be conjunction or opposing or a square, trine, even a sextile, where you're going to feel that energy stronger than most. So this can bring in misunderstandings, confusion. It can drain your energy. Your intuition is more open, but when you're open like that and you're sensitive, you have to have boundaries. You have to cleanse your energy, clear your energy, or you'll accidentally walk around and absorb collective energy. And right now, that's not something that you want to do, I promise you. Okay, you kind of have to have a boundary between yourself and the external world, between yourself and others. If not, you literally could get sick. You could get physically sick. For those of you guys that are doing energy healing, make sure that you're cleansing your energy and removing, especially if you're actively working on helping and healing other people. There's so many of you guys who are gifted, who are being called to help people all around the world, people that you just cross paths with. That's don't deny that, but at the same time, make sure that you have really good, healthy routines, regimen, and hygiene, spiritual hygiene, that you're cleansing your energy, your aura, after dealing with people who are sick, depressed, going through things that you are actively helping. Be very careful about what it is that you're watching on TV, on your phone, and music that you're listening to. A wonderful way to work with this energy all this week, not just at the time of this transit or at the time of the full moon, is to really lean into your creativity, being really careful and selective about the music that you're listening to. Listen to high vibrational music. This can pull you up into bliss, true nirvana, just walking around on an incredible cloud. It can connect you to spirit, connect you to your angels, your guides, the presence of the divine. It's really, really a beautiful energy, even with the square. If anything, tenfold with the square. So trust and lean into that, but also be really careful that you're not overly absorbing, again, other people's energies. Make sure that you're tapping into the right energies. Or if you are around someone or with someone who's depressed or sick, again, that you cleanse yourself of that shortly after. The other thing that I'm seeing here, the sun again represents our ego. Be really, give yourself a lot of grace. You know, these transits are tough. Number one, they're very tough. There's a lot of information coming at us at one point, and there's so much of these planets right now that are in positions of giving space and not needing to know all of the details of everything that's going on, protecting yourself, not knowing, sometimes staying ignorant, staying in the dark about certain things is its own form of blessing and protection. So trust if the universe, your angels and your guides is stopping you from hearing, seeing information that, or blocking you from approaching, involving yourself in certain things that just may not energetically be the right match for you. Okay, so with that being said, I'm pretty sure that's all that I wanted to lean into. Let me just kind of check. Oh, we do have Venus trine Jupiter retrograde and Sun's entering into the sign of Capricorn towards a later portion of this week, into the weekend, December 21st. So for those of you guys that are Capricorns, it is your season, and I am wishing you a happy early solar return. Capricorn season is like the big brown bear that wants to go into the cave and kind of nom on their snacks and do activities that are restorative in nature, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Try not to overexert yourself. Be really careful and observant about who it is that you're syncing up with in relationships or partnering down with, even friendships. What is it that you're spending most of your time with? What are you harmonizing with? Who and what are you harmonizing with? Make sure that it's something that is for your highest and greatest good and gonna, again, lift your energy up in a way that is healthy and healing and clear. If not, this is gonna be a little bit more tricky to navigate. Okay, so, and it can really bring you down, and who wants that? So let's go ahead and move on to our oracle, shall we? I'm really interested in seeing what is the main focus for the collective for this week, or for the Gemini full moon, which is happening the weekend, but we're going to be feeling it all this week. Side note, if you love readings, intuitive channelings, authentic intuitive channelings. Behati Love Notes is there for you. It's something similar to a Patreon. However, it's my platform that I've created that allows me to build a little network, a little community just for us here. And that will be linked down below. I do readings all throughout the week, usually every 2 to 3 days, channeling for that small group, hearing what it is that we need to hear, talking about the astrology transits, and more exclusive readings. You guys won't see them here. I do share them a little bit, like little tiny 60-second snippets on my TikTok. If you're on TikTok, you can follow me there at BehatiLife. But the majority of each reading is anywhere between 22 to 30 minutes, sometimes longer, depending on what we need to dive into. And it's worth it. It's really worth it, especially if you love a deep dive. Oh, my little one's starting to stir a little bit. Let's see if she wakes up. It's so funny. Like, as soon as I get her down, she'll be sleeping for like 15 minutes, and then I just want to like pinch her toes and then wake her up. My parents out there, can you guys relate to that, or am I the only one? Or for my puppy parents and for the fur mamas and daddies out there, do you guys look at your animals when they're sleeping and you're just like, oh my God, you are the cutest thing that has ever happened to me and our entire world and planet? Which, side note, for those of you guys that are interested in like my lifestyle and motherhood and my birth, my labor and delivery story, I actually created, and gardening and cooking, I created a second YouTube channel, a personal YouTube channel. It's not really like a vlogger style. I don't know how I feel about the whole vlogging style platforms, but I'll link it down below. But it's Queen Bee Homestead Co. I just uploaded my first video ever, my labor and delivery story. I've already gotten 2 text messages from family and friends just being like, I'm crying right now. And I can't believe I didn't cry while I was sharing the story with you guys, because every time I think about everything that happened, oh my God, tears just well up. But anyways, I'll link that down below if you guys are interested. All right, let's go ahead and look into the oracle, shall we? So the first card we have is the Deer, connected to gentleness and diplomacy. This always connects me to the energy of Libra. I love the Deer so much. It's actually one of my animal totems. But I think it's really important that when the Deer shows up, that we are really careful and observant of how sensitive we are. And also, for someone, I just heard intuitively, someone needs to be encouraged right now. And I feel like you're not getting that from your community. Your encouragement is going to come from your angels and your guides. I'm really channeling that. That's a very specific message. Or it's going to come from strangers or people that you don't know. Family, friends, or people that you think would have your back or that are good for you right now. It's important that you kind of skedaddle away from them. For someone here, you have permission from your angels and your guides or an ancestor specific to make an excuse to not be around family right now. I don't know if this has anything to do with the holidays, because we are getting closer and closer to the holidays. Someone here may feel like they don't want to show up for their family and their friends at the holidays, and that's okay. I do get a sense of someone being really, really quiet, withdrawn, and even almost hidden from their public, meaning the people that know them. Even if that means your family, to some extent, someone really needs to hide out, to the point where I actually think that people are going to be looking for you or asking about you, texting, calling, blowing your phone up. And I feel someone is really going to put their phone on D&D and find a way to hunker down and hunker away from being with a greater group. I really get that message here. We have the Wild Rose Fairy here, connected to the spirit of love. And I love that so much. So someone here, you might actually be connecting to, we do have love, which is always connected to number 2 and 3 for me. And then you have the number 22 here. So you may be hunkering into with a loved one, like someone that you are in a relationship with, or partnering with their family. For others, I do get a sense of the benefit of, this is so random, but I do get a sense of you reading like romance novels or writing for an author here, kind of writing a fairy tale love story. So interesting that came up. Let's look at the past a little bit. The next card we have here is the Wind Fairy, thoughts, words, and intellectual analysis, ruled by the number 29, I'm sorry. Again, this is being really mindful, aware of what it is that we're thinking, paying attention to our thoughts and slowing down significantly so that we can think and analyze things clearly. I also think that for some of you guys, you need to separate from overly emotional energies right now, especially that coming from others around you who are emotional. This is a very heightened emotional time, sensitive time for many, not just because it's around the holiday season, but 2024 leading into 2025 is a lot. It's very heavy. It's a lot of things coming at people at one point. A lot of information, like system overload for your nervous system, right? So it's important that you don't allow yourself to get bogged down by all that information. What if you were one of those people who is able to ground and center yourself so that you are a positive catalyst for what is healthy and healing at this time, this day and age? With that being said, it's not your job to heal and to show up for everyone and everything, because if you did that, you would merge and blend into the very thing that you are being called to heal. So take some time to clear your mind, clear your thoughts, so that you can stay focused, so that you can stay on track, so that you can stay on target. Yep, look at that. The next card to support that is Guardians of the Land, connected to protection. Exactly. Took the words right out of my mouth. We're protecting our mind. We're protecting our words. We're being really selective on what we are saying, what we're hearing, what we're absorbing, and what we're believing. Okay, next card for the future we have, oh my gosh, the Bee. I love this card, but it's kind of tricky because this is still a need to kind of protect yourself. Divine anger, divine wrath, divine separation, right? Divine independence. Even though you're part of a community and a part of a hive here on Earth, we still need to remember that each of us individually are armed for a reason, okay? That's where your success is going to come from. Well, that's going to contribute to your success, is your ability to protect yourself, protect the hive. What is the hive for you? Okay, oh, look at this. The bluebird of happiness has shown up. I love this little bird. I love this card so much. Yeah, I feel like this is another sign, another token of protecting your happiness, your joy. And I also just heard the word expansion. Following what these two cards were kind of leading into leads us into this. Success, honey, prosperity, growth, fertility. Those are all the things that the bee represents and the hive represents. Even in Behati Love Notes, for those of you guys that are subscribed, you know, and you can attest to this, that the feminine energy has been showing up a lot lately. A whole lot. That we've been working on healing and restoring our feminine energy and working with our feminine magic so that we can not only be happy and healthy, but abundant in all the different ways. So Spirit is really looking out for your happiness here and making sure that there isn't something that's sick that would infect your hive, whatever that hive looks like for you now. So I'm sending you guys all of my love, truly, truly, truly. I hope that you are well. I hope that this reading resonates with you. Go ahead and feel free to check out Queen Bee Homestead Co. I will leave the links down below. I also needed to I made like the smallest jar of belly butter while I was pregnant at the very beginning of my pregnancy to help nourish my skin and support my skin and my stomach and my little one as I was pregnant, as my body was changing. I ran out because I was just using it on my belly, but then of course you end up putting it everywhere else. That's why I call them beauty butters. So I ended up making a second batch using like 5 pounds of shea butter and mango butter and a few other ingredients. That's just the butters themselves. So long story short, 5 pounds is more than I can use as one person. So I am breaking it down into a few different jars of the same blend that I'm using. It's a lavender chamomile blend. You can use it all over your body. I know that for many of you guys, you have been waiting over a year and some change for the body butters to be restocked. There's no way that I'm restocking to the same extent that I have in the past right now, especially while I'm on maternity leave. I'm just simply sharing what I've created in the one blend that I've created, which is a mama and baby butter blend. So it's not up yet, but you'll see the updates for that at Queen Bee Homestead Co. on my Instagram, which I'll link down below. Until then, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.